So we've done translations and we've done reflections, right? Those are the two. Okay, so we're going to go on to rotations today. So the main thing that I'm going to do for you today is strictly we're going to do everything with shortcuts, okay, with rotations. So the types of rotations you're going to see is you're going to see 90 degrees clockwise. Well, you can not write it down, just watch if you'd like, but I would write it down. So 90 degrees clockwise is the rotation. Now we've got to remember which way is clockwise. That would be obviously the same way, the same way a clock turns, right? 90 degrees counterclockwise. So that would be the opposite direction of clockwise, counter. You're going to see 180 degrees. Okay, now obviously 180 degrees doesn't matter clockwise, counterclockwise, because you end up in the same spot. Now, I can do 270 degrees as well. I can say 270 degrees clockwise, counterclockwise, but that's really, so if I say clockwise, that's the same as saying 90 degrees counterclockwise. So these two things, when I say 270 degrees, they're really 90 degrees, just the same rule. So maybe we'll write them down here just to make sure they're there. So counterclockwise, that's equal to 90 degrees clockwise, that one. All right, so we've got those. All right, so let's go. Let's do a new one here. So let's pull up this one, large one. Oh, sorry, you didn't get that one? Okay. Because I got to record the sound too, don't I? Yeah. You all right? Good. Like our conversation is being recorded. Decent. Yeah. You got that, Brooke? Okay. Everybody got that? All right. So let's carry on here. Second base. Okay. So now we're gonna make up the rules. We're gonna make up the shortcuts as we go along. You'll see that they're pretty standard. Let's put a point on here. Let's stick with black. That'll work. Let's go with the point 4-3. How's that? So 4-3. You can draw a graph. I'm putting this point at 4-3. We'll call this, 4-3. I'll call my point A so that our image point is A prime. Now, I want you, let's make this as a, 90 degrees clockwise. Let's see what happens if we do a 90 degrees clockwise turn. So what I want you to do, just for fun, take your paper, once you've plotted that point, and I want you to take it and I want you to turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Okay? If you've got it 90 degrees clockwise, you'll see that your point should be down here somewhere. Right? And you can pull that point off and it happens to be 3, -4, doesn't it? That's where your point ends up, doesn't it? So this is my A prime. That's 3, -4. When I turn that page 90 degrees clockwise, doesn't it? So cheater method number 1, I'm doing my test and it says to do 90 degrees clockwise and there's an image there. I write down all my original points and then what do I do with my whole test page? I just turn it 90 degrees. That's cheater method number 1, right? You couldn't do that. You can do that. And lots of people do that for the whole course. Now, or you could recognize, and here it is, maybe make a little table in your stuff there. Let's go like this. Let's say, 90 degrees clockwise. And let's underline this. My original point, xy, it becomes this. So if you're one of those people who just likes the speedy little ordered pair things, you don't have to draw anything or think about it. If you recognize 90 degrees clockwise, and here's my original point x, y, it really just becomes y, switches positions, and it becomes a negative x. So now any point out there, any point. Here, I'll change colors. I'll go to green. Let's make one up here. Let's say -3, -2. We'll call this point B. -3, -2. And that's not the best color. I shouldn't have used that color maybe. Carson? Yeah, it's just times it by a negative, whatever. Yeah, exactly. So I know that my original point is -3, -2. I got to change colors because that green is killing me here. I'm going to go to the blue. Yeah. Is it okay if I just leave it there, though? Okay. So -3, -2. I know that I'm going to follow this rule here. So my y value stays. So my new one, I'm going to put it here, b prime. Without actually doing anything, my y value just becomes my x value. Okay? I just switch that over. My x value goes into the y spot, but like Carson said, I have to times that by a negative. So the -3 becomes a +3. So now, -2, +3. There's my b prime. What was the other option I could have just done? Turned your paper, right? 90 degrees clockwise. And then just pulled off the points that are there, because you can pretend like your axes are all still there. Agreed? Okay, so I'm going to throw up a new graph here on a different page, obviously. And we'll do 90 degrees counterclockwise. I'll go back to black here. So let's do 90 degrees counterclockwise on this one. So we'll do our little rules here. So 90 degrees counterclockwise. So our original is going to be x and y. And we got to figure out what that's going to turn into, okay? Okay, well, we might as well stick with that. Was it 4-3 we used originally? Okay, let's stick with that. We'll stick with that, 4-3, and we'll call this point C, though, this time. 4-3. Now, again, let's just make up the rule by cheating here first. We're going to turn that page counterclockwise now. What do you find your points at now? What'd you get? -3, +4. So C prime. So do you notice the difference between our first cheater ordered pair and our second one? Because now our x just goes into the y position, but we don't actually do anything with it. Whereas clockwise, what did we times it by? A negative, yeah. And this time, what do we notice about our y value? Or sorry, yeah, our y value goes into our x position, but gets multiplied by a negative. So now we'll test that out with a different one. Let's go with this blue again. That seemed to work the best. So let's go with the point, let's go with -3, -1. We'll call this point D. Oops. -3, -1. Now, without turning the page now, I'm going to remember this rule, or I'm going to try and remember this rule. Like I said, a lot of people, maybe at the end of it all, we'll just write down all of our cheater rules. There's a big table, so you've got them if you want to study it that way, or this way. You could turn the page still. You could. Some of you will. Or I can use this rule. where my y, my new y, d prime, my x value is going to become my y value, so -3, right? The y value is going to become my x value, but what am I going to do with it? Multiply it by a negative. So the y value in this one is -1 times by a negative becomes a +1. So there's my d prime point. So if I go over to 1 and down 3, there is d prime. Now, you guys, I'm not doing an image here. If we had a rectangle or a triangle or some of those shapes we've seen on our assignments, you'll see it rotated 90 degrees. You'll see that. I mean, right now, the best thing you can do to see it is take your page and turn it. Okay? And if you do that, I'm pretty sure you'll find out that that's exactly where it is. Okay. We got that written down? So we've got our cheater methods written down. That's the important part to me. Now let's go. Let's do another one. Let's do 180-degree rotation. I'm not going to do those 270-degree ones. Why? Yeah, it's just the opposite. Like if it says 270 degrees clockwise, that's 90 degrees counterclockwise, right? Think of a circle. Think of it that way. All right, 180-degree rule. So let's rotate something 180 degrees. I guess we can write this down too. Do a cheater rule for it. So our XY point. Let's see what happens here. This is going to look similar to something we've done before. All right, let's go plot that 4, 3. We'll call this one E this time. E, 4, 3. Now, take your page, spin it completely 180 degrees so your page is upside down now. So let's figure out what we're going to get here. What is the ordered pair that you got out of that? -4, -3. So -4, -3. Here's my E prime. Because when you rotate, think about when you take that, your notes there, Megan, turn your whole page 180 degrees. So turn it upside down and read what the ordered pair is now.